Dharma propagation as my duty, benefiting sentient beings as my mission. This is Master Hsing lifetime belief. No matter how things change, relying on the Buddha's and Bodhisattvas' blessings and virtuous conditions from the world, and also strongly believing that where there is Dharma, there will be a way. He takes one step after another and carved out a global blueprint of Buddhism inside this turbulent and chaotic Saha world. From a full-hearted young monk to a great master who spreads the seeds of Bodhi wisdom across the world, over these few decades, Master's determination to construct a humanistic Pure Land is as strong as it was from the beginning, and it has never changed. To Venerable Master, his lifetime endeavor and selfless commitment are merely the duty of a monastic. But to all living beings, his continuous instructions are the most valuable treasures in the world. These treasures have opened up the path to Buddhahood and also shed light to the hearts of countless sentient beings across the world. Situated in Jiangsu Province, Jiangdu County, a quiet and simple rural village is the home of Master Hsing. Despite of the turbulent period and lack of daily resources, Master was always able to cross torrential rivers to bring home the necessary daily goods. For his bravery and daring wits, everyone looked at the second oldest son of the Lees and knew that he would be the family's fruitful result one day. His most unforgettable childhood memories include his maternal grandmother, who, despite being illiterate, was able to recite various Buddhist sutras. Being only 3 or 4 years old, he was already having a competition with his sister on observing vegetarianism. The influences and inspirations of religion could already be seen in him at a young age. 1937. The Marco Polo Bridge incident on July 7th triggered the Sino-Japanese War. Countless innocent lives were cruelly ruined. In the same year, Master's father left home on a business venture and never returned. His family fell into hardship immediately. As a result, Master followed his mother to Nanjing at the age of 12 in search for his father. Perhaps things were meant to be. During their stop at Shan Monastery, he made a casual promise to a Buddhist monk who asked if he wanted to become a monastic. Because of this promise, Master bid his family goodbye and became censured under Venerable Master Zhikai. He was named Jingjue and called Wuche, and became the 48th generation of the Lingji school in Chan Buddhism. Not only did this trip change his life, it was also a big turning point to the development of Buddhism. Later, when he was studying at the Buddhist college, he learned of nebula clusters, stars and clouds which existed before the universe was formed. Deeply admiring its infiniteness, he wished that one day he will be able to dispel darkness with light and also travel freely without bounds. For these reasons, he gave himself a Dharma name, Hsing, star and cloud. After experiencing strict monastic education and teachings of Dharma, Young Master Xingyun's heart was filled with passion for Dharma propagation. In time of war and chaos, he could not bear to see his fellow monastics suffer from all this turmoil. Not only was it a time of war, this period also pushed Buddhism closer to its end. Willing to sacrifice his life for Buddhism, Master put his every thought into reform and tried to find a new direction for the development of Buddhism. As the war worsened, the number of wounded and homeless people continued to rise. Therefore, Master co-initiated the monastic rescue team with other Buddhist monks in the hope of helping others. Not wishing for everyone to end in common ruin, he led the rescue team to Taiwan. A compassionate thought of preserving the stream of Dharma back then became the seed of today's fruitful results, where the light of Buddha's wisdom has been spread far and wide. When Master Xingyun first arrived in Taiwan, he had nothing on him but the clothes he was wearing, and many members of the monastic rescue team were scattered. Being all alone with nowhere to go, he was forced to spend the night under Shandao Temple's big gong in pouring rain. It was not easy to find a place to stay on this strange land, and he finally found somewhere to settle down after meeting with Venerable Master Miaoguo in Zhongli Guang Temple. In order to repay his kindness, Master worked diligently from dawn to dusk, and during his spare times, he continued to read and write. To propagate Buddhism in a country where people could not tell between Buddhism and Taoism, and also with a severe absence of righteous belief, while the right causes and conditions were required, courage, wisdom, and determination were also essential. In 1952, he met lay Buddhist Li Juehe from Yilan while attending a conference organized by the Buddhist Association of ROC. After hearing about how difficult it was for Li to find a monastic to teach Buddhism in Yilan, Master kindly promised to go despite the hardship of journey, because he had a heart full of passion for the propagation of Buddhism. Ever since he began spreading seeds of Bodhi wisdom in the simple and rural town of Yilan, his heart never left this unsophisticated home. And the people of Yilan, in return, embraced Master's truthfulness with their utmost loyalty and support. During his time at Laying Temple, Master Xingyun adopted various skillful means to bring Buddhism into people's hearts, and chanting happens to be the top choice. Therefore, he founded the Buddhist Chanting Association to help lay Buddhists develop unshaken belief and faith through chanting. Ever since its establishment, the association continued to attract new members, and whenever there was a Dharma talk or activity, they would publicize the event on the streets and alleys. The association indeed became a very important part of the local people's lives. What came next was to utilize the energy of youths. Master saw young people's need to make new friends and their love for singing. Therefore, he founded Taiwan's first Buddhist choir. In order to make youths find it rewarding to participate, he then established a writers' class, which was very popular amongst educated youths. Master then established the children's class, Sunday school, and other similar educational programs. Still under the age of 30, Master found the time to be the chief editor for Human Life magazine and Awakening the World periodical, despite his busy schedule. Years of hard work saw to their results during the 1958 Buddha's birthday celebration, where Master decided to organize a festooned parade in Yilan that covered 48 kilometers in distance. Yilan back then only had a population of 50,000, but 30,000 of which actually showed up on the day of the parade. The wonderful result showed Buddhists the meaning of teamwork. For those 10 years in Yilan, this foreign Buddhist monk became inseparable with the simple and unsophisticated mountain town. Every time I come, there's no one to welcome me. Every time I go, there's no one to bid me farewell. Such is the feeling of home. This mountain town, situated in northeast Taiwan, nurtured a master of greatness who later brought Buddhism to the whole world. This town also became the origin of Shan's worldwide undertakings and established a firm foundation for the actualization of humanistic Buddhism. In order to spread Buddhism on a broader scope, Master was anxious to search for a bigger and more resourceful place. Therefore, he established Shan Temple in southern Taiwan on top of the already existing base in northern Taiwan. Still, he knew very well that temples alone would never be enough to make Buddhism an active religion. And the only way to make sure the stream of Dharma flows forever is by nurturing new generations of Dharma teachers. As a result, Shan Buddhist College was founded in 1964. Causes and conditions can be truly amazing. A Vietnamese couple was desperate to sell their land in Dashu Village, Kaohsiung County, in order to repay their debts, and they reached Master for help. Out of his compassion and the vision to develop a grand Buddhist monastery in Taiwan, he responded to the couple's plea. In spite of people's objections and disappointment in seeing this wasteland, Master had his own ideas. He decided to focus on education and Dharma propagation over this secluded land, a place free from mundane fame and gain, and also a place where he would start from scratch to achieve something great. The process of construction was nothing but arduous work and hardship. With limited monetary and human resources, every brick and tile was laid with blood, sweat, and people's lives. But as all of them had the common goal in glorifying their religion, rough terrains were not enough to stop them from marching forward, and wild storms could not extinguish their passion and enthusiasm. With all this hard work, grand and majestic shrines were completed one after another. Various tasks on Dharma propagation also went well underway, thus realizing Shan's four objectives: to propagate Buddhism through culture, to nurture talents through education, to purify human minds through spiritual cultivation, and to benefit society through charitable activities. Alms procession, Dharma lectures and talks, publication of Buddhist canons, pilgrimages, Buddhist music concerts, international academic conferences, and many other events were carried out under Master's guidance. Buddhism became a global religion and something more related and applicable to life. Furthermore, the Buddha's light now shines over the 5 continents of the world. In 1985, Master Xingyun retired and handed the abbotship of Shan over to his first disciple, Venerable Hsing. With Master's actions, his concepts in a democratized, modernized, and systemized monastery were realized. The management of Shan Monastery was handed over to the next generation, while he himself traveled the world and widely spread the seeds of Dharma. As Shan's culture, educational, charitable, and spiritual undertakings operated with system, the tasks of making a beginning, constructing the monastery, establishing an order, and handing down the light were completed. Master's retirement was only the beginning to a bigger world. From the Buddhist perspective, by abiding in the Buddhist regulations, handing down the light, managing with system, and leading in an organized manner, the era of democracy will be created. Just as long as talents and a system exists, the Dharma wheel will continue to turn. Therefore, stepping down does not mean retirement. In fact, it is only a new beginning for Master Xingyun. Sometimes when you lower your head, you will see the sky in the water, and to retreat actually means to advance. Having unloaded trivial administrative works, he now has more time to practice, give classes, read, write, and outline an even bigger blueprint for the future. The wings of the rock are now ready to unfold and soar far and high. In the past 2 decades, Master's footsteps have covered every corner of the world, achieving omni-bearing Buddhist undertakings on the international stage. Delivering Dharma lectures all over the world, no matter how far and out of reach, he is willing to make arduous journeys and overcome racial, language, and cultural differences, just to bring the nectar of Dharma to every place that needs nourishment, thus spreading the seeds of Bodhi wisdom everywhere he goes. A year's schedule is enough for him to circle the globe at least twice, so as to provide worldwide Buddhists a place for spiritual cultivation. Master has made constant efforts in establishing branch temples, the first one being Silai Temple, which offers guidance to Westerners with the wisdom of Chinese Buddhism, and allows Buddhist light from the East to shine universally, and the Western Dharma stream to flow across the 5 continents. By integrating Eastern and Western cultures, and complementing the traditional with the modern, a new page in the history of Buddhism has been created. Up until today, Shan temples can be seen all over America, Australia, Africa, Asia, and Europe. These have become essential spiritual shelters to all those searching for peace of mind and self-improvement. All of these hard works are just to repay the Buddha's kindness. No matter how tough things can get, he is always perfectly willing. Each of Master's footsteps has opened up a path with new prospects for Buddhism, and created conditions which lead sentient beings to Buddhahood. To promote humanistic Buddhism has been Master Xingyun's lifetime endeavor. But this goal can only be achieved when Buddhists step out of monasteries and into society, and also transcend the boundaries of nations. Associated leadership is required to guide the devotees in a systematic manner. Furthermore, by combining the endless resources of society, even more people will benefit from the Dharma and take part in benefiting society themselves. Therefore, the Buddha's Light International Association, BLIA in short, a Buddhist association which inherits the Buddha's light spirit, was formally established in 1992. Up until today, the BLIA has become an international association whose chapters can be found all over the world. The association has organized many award-winning events which offer spiritual guidance to all walks of life. Be they young and old, its members will all have the opportunity to contribute to the development of Buddhism, so as to allow Buddhism to keep up with time, integrate wide resources, and to break down the rigid rule of monasteries being the only place where the Dharma can be delivered. Master founded the BLIA Lay Dharma Lectures system, which extended the influence of Buddhism, established the order and principle of heritage, realized equality within the Buddhist community, and most important of all, achieve harmony and respect between monastic and lay Buddhists. The system not only elevated the level of spiritual belief and strengthened the bond between lay Buddhists, it has also broadened the scope of Dharma propagation. Master always sees equal importance in monastic and lay Buddhists. The establishment of the BLIA has given lay Buddhists a chance to offer their part in glorifying Buddhism. Decades after crossing the ocean to Taiwan, he never had a chance to return home until a cross-strait development policy was established. Not only did it enhance economic, trading, and cultural exchanges, it also gave Master the chance to return home. In 1989, the International Buddhist Progress Homecoming Group finally set foot on their motherland. Its 200 members received a warm welcoming and tremendous responses wherever they went. It was as if China was swept by the Xingyun storm, which left a deep impression in the people's hearts. This trip gave Chinese Buddhists much confidence and hope. While propagating the Dharma, Master also visited his relatives and returned to Shan and Shan Buddhist College, the places where he became a monastic and studied Buddhism. His gratitude towards his teachers were hard to describe with words. Although much has changed in Yangzhou, Jiangdu, the villagers never forgot about the little boy from their home who turned out to be a master of greatness. Grandmother in particular was the most happy to see him. Memories formed a tunnel of time and shows us the little boy who followed his mother to Nanjing in search of his father and set out to greatness because of one single promise. And this promise had also led to the prosperity of Buddhism. So as to allow Buddhism to return to its glorious days in India and to restore the male and female Buddhist community, Master saw to the organization of the 1998 International Triple Platform Full Ordination Ceremony and Lay Buddhist 5 and Bodhisattva Precepts Ceremony in Bodh Gaya, India, the place where the Buddha attained enlightenment. This acted as a catalyst to the globalization of Buddhism. Having returned to the sacred land, Master and the group could certainly see the Buddhist days. Never sparing any effort in propagating Buddhism and benefiting sentient beings, He places equal emphasis on the exchange between the northern, southern schools as well as Tibetan Buddhism. For this reason, he accomplished the grand arrival of Buddha's tooth relic in Taiwan. The devotees were also extremely happy and touched when the relic arrived in Shan, where a master used the opportunity to explain the significance and value of the relic, so as to offer a place to enshrine this sacred tooth relic. The foundation-laying ceremony of the Buddha Memorial Hall took place on January 12, 2003. It is hoped that Buddha's wisdom and blessings will continue to offer guidance to all living beings. Furthermore, given the principle Hsing to make the initiation, united effort in the escort, enshrinement and worship as one, safety as top priority, Master Hsing overcame every hardship and completed the Buddha's finger relic Taiwan tour. From Xi'an Famen Temple to Taiwan via Hong Kong, this 37-day tour completed yet another milestone in the history of Buddhism. For 50 years, Master's every thought has been directed towards propagating Buddhism and bringing benefit to sentient beings. All of his undertakings are based on the objectives of promoting culture, education, spiritual cultivation, and charity. No matter how things change, the daily rites and regulations within the monastery always remain the same. Technological advancement have continued to improve the ways with which Dharma is being spread. Through the use of music, text, television, newspaper, and so on, distance in the world has been taken away, and Buddhism is made an universally accepted religion. All the hard work is done out of the hope of spreading the goodness and beauty of Buddhism, as well as the truthfulness and love of the human world to every corner.
我回想起来我的这个一生，我把它规划成了10年一个人生，10年一个人生。我从1岁到10岁，这个叫成长期。在成长期的当中，我只记得，家乡是一个偏僻的小乡村，不周全的当中，也靠着我们的这个人间的温暖情谊啊，度过了童年。我12岁出家，就是从11岁到20岁呢，我把它定为学习的时期。可以说，受父母的准子的教育，不准看，不准听，深山古寺的丛林，悠悠岁月啊，不觉也是10年。我21岁到31岁呢，我把它定为是一个独立的参学的时期。我离开了丛林，我离开了师长，在这个期间，从大陆到台湾，我做过小学校长，我做过佛学院的教师，个人呢四处参访参学，跟诸位大师大德学习，把我30岁到40岁的这个时间的10年呢，规划为叫做文学习作的时期。 我在很多报纸杂志投稿，我也摒弃过很多的这个佛教的杂志，如《今日佛教》、《人生》杂志、《教师春刊》等等。我总想，我要弘扬佛法。就41岁到50岁，我把我自己进入到一个历史的时期。我要创造历史，我要立功、立德、立言，我要让人间的这个所想所做对的也能响应这个好像不朽的人生。所以因此就办深切教育，就创立佛光山，甚至于走上世界。到了50岁、60岁，我应该要有哲学的人生，比方说禅坐、禅学，或者净土的念佛，或者是学术的论文的发表。到60岁、这个70岁之间呢，我就更一步地体会到，这个伦理学的人生很重要，大众彼此要和谐，甚至于我要倡导这个世界的和平人民的言论要相互尊重、相互包容。到了70岁以后自己人生的境界还是觉得这个是不做的，而是世间的。我应该慢慢更夸大，我应该实践这个人间的融合，人间的圆满。我想以后假如我有多少生命，我当然继续的就以我这样的一期一期的不离开佛教、佛学的这个发展，这个人间的这个教育，也就是人间佛教。
Causes and conditions are truly amazing. 50 years ago, a young Buddhist monk crossed the ocean to Taiwan, full of sentiment and aspirations. No matter how difficult things were, his determination to propagate the Dharma remained firm and unshakable. In order to actualize the concept of humanistic Buddhism, Master Hsing vowed to live a 300-year-old life. He has never stopped from propagating the Dharma, searching for the well-being of all, practicing the concept of the philosophy of being second, and always thinking on behalf of all sentient beings. Master Jianzhen once said, "It is for the Dharma, for which life can be sacrificed. If you don't go, I will." In Emperor Sunzi's poem which praises the Sangha, it says, "Gold and white jade aren't the real treasure. To have the kasaya over your shoulder is the only hard thing to achieve." Becoming ordained is something that can only be done by a man of spirit, not by any general or a minister. Just as grandmother gave her son to the world, Venerable Master also dedicated his life to the sentient beings. He once said that the greatest fortune in his entire life comes from being a Buddhist monk. It is his wish to be a monastic life after life. When he returns on the wings of his vow, he will still be without resentment and without regret.